Good evening with your CIG TV news update. I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush. We begin today with a look at a professional development program that targets persons who work with government finances. The 4-day training takes place December 3rd to December 6th at the West Inn Hotel. Governor Helen Kilpatrick, Minister of Finance Marco Archer, and Deputy Governor Franz Manderson among those set to speak. The event will include presenters from the local private sector, as well as the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and France. They will focus on topics related to public sector management, such as governance, risk management, project management, and fraud prevention. Organizers have also dedicated a full day to ethics training. Chair of the Public Accounts Committee, Roy McTaggart, is on the list of scheduled presenters. CIG TV spoke to him about his expectations for the event.
The keynote speak, which I shall be delivering, will focus primarily on the role of the Public Accounts Committee in holding government accountable for the public purse, which they are charged with responsibility for spending. And I'll be looking at the role of the committee, the critical role that it plays. Also be examining a number of critical success factors for public accounts committees in order for them to achieve what they are charged with doing legislatively in the whole accountability process of government. And we will also be taking a look at what I perceive to be one of the most critical reports ever issued by the Auditor General's Office.
Mr. McTaggart is also the councillor responsible for finance. We spoke to him about the areas that the Ministry of Finance would be targeting for professional development in 2014.
I would think that the ministry would want to pay very close attention to the developments in the IPSAS, that is the Public Service Accounting Standards, as they continue to evolve. I think it's important for us because under the Public Management and Finance Law, they are charged with responsibility for preparing financial statements that accord with those standards. And we live in a world where those standards are changing constantly. So it's absolutely important that focus be spent on those areas to ensure that those who are charged with responsibility for preparing government accounts have the necessary skills, knowledge, understanding of the standards in order to discharge their responsibilities.
Minister for Finance Marco Archer and Governor Helen Kilpatrick will both speak at the final day of the conference this Friday. The third Cayman Thanksgiving took place this past weekend with a homecoming concert on Friday night and a mini agricultural show on Saturday. Officials estimate about 1,000 people came out to each event. The concert featured headlining acts Swanky, the Regeneration Band, and teen rockers Inverse. Organizers described the concert as a celebration of Caymanian culture and heritage, and a mini agricultural show and family fun day followed on Saturday. Local farmers and market vendors turned out to the weekly market at the grounds to serve and sell fresh local produce. Items on sale included pumpkin, fish, breadfruit, cassava, yam, bananas, poultry, eggs, meat, and seasoning peppers, among other local staples. Children were also able to enjoy a petting zoo and pony rides. Cayman Thanksgiving is supported by the Ministry and Department of Agriculture and the Ministry and Department of Tourism. The Ministry of Employment also purchased 1,000 tickets for unemployed persons registered with the National Workforce Development Agency. 16 days of activism against gender violence is already well underway. Tune in to CIG TV at 8 p.m. tonight to hear a message by Gender Affairs Minister Tara Rivers. In her message, the minister addresses the scope of the global problem that is gender violence. Gender-based violence is a problem of significant proportions that affects not only the Cayman Islands, but all societies. The World Health Organization estimates that at least 1 of every 3 women globally will be beaten, raped, or otherwise abused during her lifetime, and in most cases, the abuser is a member of her own family. Violence against women is viewed by many as the most pervasive yet least recognized human rights abuse in the world, a public health crisis, and an obstacle to gender development, security, and peace. The Ministry of the Environment makes its final push for public feedback on the National Conservation Law this week. A district meeting is scheduled for West Bay tonight, and others are scheduled throughout the week. CIG TV sat down with the Department of Environment to talk about some of the key environmental assets that might be a focus of conservation efforts in each district.
As we've been going around and doing some public consultation in the sort of lead up to this last period of questions and answers that we hope to provide to the public, it's become quite evident that there's a lot of confusion regarding the proposals that we went out to the public with over the last 2 years on the marine conservation law, the marine parks, new proposals for enhanced marine parks. This national conservation law is not about the marine parks. It won't change anything. Passage of this law will not change anything to do with our current marine protection regulations or the current marine park regulations. What happens is that this law makes provision for the old regulations under the marine conservation law to be brought under this law as if they were recommendations under this law. So everything regarding the marine parks, catch limits for conchs and lobsters, what you can and can't do in the protected areas that we currently have, will stay the same.
Tonight's meeting takes place at 7:30 p.m. at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School Hall. The meeting tomorrow is set for the Bodden Town Civic Centre at the same time. That's 7:30 p.m.